Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, joined on the other end of the tin cannon string by Easy.
What's up?
We have quite the show for you tonight. We going to talk about our thoughts on WrestleMania. We have prizes for the winners of the WrestleMania contest. We'll talk about the footage. And we'll talk about the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion. But if you've never seen the show before, this is the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I'm Ed Easy at All In and Starcast. We love wrestling. We love talking about wrestling. We love sharing our love for wrestling with each and every one of you out there. However, just like each and every one of you out there, we are just fans. Our opinions of any other fan. We avoid insider terms because we are not insiders. We are not wrestlers. We are just a bunch of marks. What a week. Big week, maybe not a big week, depending on who you talk to. WrestleMania happened. Depending on what side of the internet you fall on, you either think it was great, you think it was terrible, or you think it was okay. Mitch Hedberg joke. So yeah, let's get right to it. First things first, we have some prizes to give away. Our grand prize winner was Mo with 19 points. Our second place winner was Michaela with 16. And, see if I did the math right here. And third place is Zach with 15. Yep, I mathed correctly. And so let's get Zach his comic book. And his comic book is Hawkeye, Freefall number 6. Michaela gets a comic book too, and her comic book is Batman 116, and her figure is a John Cena figure. But can you see it? I could pull out like something and go, you got a John Cena figure. But Mo is the man of the hour. His figure is a Goldberg figure. His comic book is Deadpool number 13. His t-shirt is... It is a Pro Wrestling Tees t-shirt for the company. And bonus prize is a Teddy Long autographed picture.
Holla, holla.
Holla, holla, holla. And holla, holla to all of our winners. Thank you so much for playing. Hey, if you didn't win, you don't have to wait too long. Next week, there is another pay-per-view and another contest from my de facto home of St. Louis. So, yeah.
What are you setting?
I don't remember. I'll have to look at the ticket. I don't remember. I got the pre-sale. That's all I remember.
All right.
But still, we will be doing a predictions episode this Thursday. And, yeah. So, be ready for that. And congratulations on the winners. So, WrestleMania. The first WrestleMania in the Paul Levesque era. The first WrestleMania that had no influence from Vince McMahon whatsoever. Did you watch it, Easy?
I did. I actually, believe it or not, I watched both nights. Unlike last year, where I was just like, couldn't give a shit, unfortunately.
Well, what did you think of the show overall?
I actually thought night one was pretty awesome. You know, just lot of, like, honestly, fantastic matches, some of which should just get to later. I don't know if we're just going match by match or at least just quick talk such. Night 2 was also really great. Other than a certain someone won the U.S. title, great, but whatever.
It was still a good match. You got to, I mean, may not have been for everybody, but like,
if I had a match of the night,
match of the night there for me was maybe not like the five-star wrestling Dave Meltzer internet, this is wrestling hashtag, this is wrestling, but as far as moments, it was a 10-star moment as far as I'm concerned was the main event. But
yeah, other than the main event, I'm kind of like tied between Rhea Ripley defending on Becky Lynch, which that was a great opener, and also props to McIntyre and Seth freaking Rollins night 2 opener. That was also amazing. Bayley defeating Io Sky, I think that was honestly fantastic.
I think my bet, like other than taking in the ring, Sammy and Gunther was my favorite.
Yeah, and also I mean, you somewhat called it, just not on Cody Rhodes, but Damian Priest.
Well, I want to say this, I see the merit in WWE and the way they do things. I may not always like it, but I can see the merit behind the way they do things. But I didn't, until I saw that show close with Cody Rhodes and that belt, I didn't believe they were going to do it, because how many times have we been burnt? Yes, it is new management, but how many times have we been burnt?
A lot.
Yeah. But, going quick match by match, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, like this match. The 6-pack tag team ladder match where the tag belts were separated, with A-Town Down Under becoming the SmackDown tag team champions and the Awesome Truth becoming the Raw tag team champions. I like that. On a personal note,
and R-Truth finally won a WrestleMania match.
R-Truth won a WrestleMania match, and Johnny Gargano was in a WrestleMania match. So, back in 2012, Johnny Gargano came to St. Louis Anarchy Pro Wrestling very frequently. And there was one day during a show, he was literally just with me and, you remember Nick from the show and JC and another friend of ours who isn't involved with the channel, was just kind of standing around talking, and we were just chilling, just talking about everything from wrestling to he had a green stripe tank top on, and he said, I imagine it's Steve, and he said about I imagine if Steve from Blue's Clues worked out, he'd wear something like this. We talked about, I said this on one of my Geeking Out podcasts, but I used a segment that he was in from Dragon Gate USA to tell off a USC troll talking shit on a Notre Dame message board. And that got us into talking about football, which led to him, saying I don't hate the Broncos like other Browns fans, because I was only 2 years old during the drive, and they went, wait a minute, screw you guys. You guys got all the good players. You guys just signed Peyton Manning. Because that was the 2012, so that was the year they signed Peyton Manning. We talked about wrestling, and me and Johnny, both Shawn Michaels fans, he's like, you realize when we grew up, I essentially spent my childhood idolizing what was essentially a male stripper. You think it'd mess me up, but it didn't. So the fact that in his first WrestleMania match, they did a DX entrance with...
That, I loved that.
With Johnny Gargano playing Shawn Michaels. That is literally... He is living the dream of all of us that grew up idolizing what was essentially a male stripper growing up. He got to play Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania.
This is interesting. Gargano went to the same high school as... what is it? Nick Menace now? The former Dolph Ziggler?
Nick Nemeth, yeah.
Nick Nemeth, there we go. Okay. Which, funny enough, St. Edward High School. That's actually just down the road from me. And apparently, 16, I'm reading this off of Wikipedia, 16 years old, he was training at Cleveland All Pro Training Center under JT Lightning and Josh Prohibition. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. I've seen Prohibition fight. He's amazing.
Yeah. So I liked R-Truth getting his moment. You know, everybody's like, it could have been someone better. Fuck off. Like, it was fun. Shut up. Wrestling's fun, remember?
Twice. He won the match twice. The pinfall and then grabbing the ladder.
I love him going for the hot tag. I thought that was hilarious.
It's just, I've complained before on the shows. I know, I can't remember which episode, but it's like, I remember I saying that R-Truth needs to stop being I love him to death as being like the comic relief at times, but there are times there's like, give him a damn title already, or just a proper title, not battling with the 24/7 belt. It's like actually give him a legit opportunity to fight for like a major championship. And finally saw that with it being the Awesome Truth, I was like, okay, but then again, it was a period when I wasn't following
another Cleveland person, The Miz. Another Cleveland person, The Miz.
Yes, actually, yes, The Miz. I didn't hear you there, but that was amazing. I was a little bummed when I heard with seeing A-Town Down Under getting it. It's like, oh, great.
I don't mind it. Be something good. Be a good team for New Catch Republic to chase. Be a good team for New Catch Republic to chase.
Yeah, there was also some goofs. Apparently, in the intros, they were playing the wrong music for some of the stars. So I'm like, nice going already.
Rey Mysterio and Andrade, the LWO versus Legado del Fantasma, and kind of Legado. This match, it was okay. The
wrong team won. I'm sorry, and also Lane Johnson and Jason Kelsey. Like, really? Do we have to be so obvious with football players and superstars being in the stadiums? Like, we get it. No, it was. I'm not
an Eagles fan. I'm not an Eagles fan, but hey, it got a good reaction in Philly. It's fine. I don't. There's many things that you can complain about. To me, that's just
the Jason Kelsey reveal was, pretty jaw dropping. But then there was Lane Johnson, and now I was like, who? And then I was like, oh, he's currently on the Eagles. It's like, well, that's why I didn't know, because I don't give a shit about the Eagles.
Yeah. So
I respect them. I just don't give a shit. But wrong team won. I'm sorry. I think I don't know what I said in my predictions last time, but Santos and Dominic, I think they should have won this one.
But now we get to the worst match on the card. Jay versus Jimmy. They just didn't have the. They just didn't.
I thought it was okay.
I didn't like it.
Bad. There's one match I'm going to talk about that I think was horrible, but we'll get to that later.
I already know what match it is.
What's on that one?
I know what match it is already. It's the one with Logan Paul, because you hate Logan Paul.
Actually, no.
Okay. Color me surprised. Jade Cargill.
I thought the Jimmy match was unnecessary. It's like it
was necessary for the story. Like, it made the build up and
for the story. Yes,
everything about it made sense. It just didn't deliver. And I've kind of noticed this at WrestleMania. They're the third. Michael Cole.
Third brother versus brother match. Yeah.
Actual brother versus brother. Michael Cole spitting on WWE canon and pretty much revealing that Kane and The Undertaker aren't actually brothers, not counting their match, but whatever. But, I've noticed
we watched Brett versus Owen on a Geeking Out viewing.
So, pretty much...
I thought the Matt and Jeff match at Mania 25 could have been better.
I was getting ready to say, other than Brett and Owen, none of the brother versus brother matches have really been very good. I didn't like Matt versus Jeff that much at WrestleMania 25, and I didn't really like this one either. So there you go.
Maybe 25 could have been better as well, but that's another rant for another day.
Except that had, in my opinion, the greatest wrestling match of all time on it. That's one saving grace for that show. Well, two. That and Ricky Steamboat being awesome. So there's two saving graces for that show. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi defeated Damage Control. Okay little match. Already said this. Sami Zayn ends Gunther's historic Intercontinental Championship reign at 666 days.
666.
Yeah, the number of the beast.
That I would say is massive feel-good moment, and especially Kevin Owens just waiting at the entrance for Sami. It's like, go get it.
It was good. Like, I was a little sad because I was kind of hoping that it would be Chad Gable, but, hey, it's good for Sami.
Good, also, good. Just reversing back on that 6-woman tag match, and I just realized that Kabuki Warriors are the women's tag team champions, and I was like wondering, wait, why aren't those titles on the line?
Because it was more about faction warfare than the titles. I know. I'm not going to say I agree with it, but I get it, but I don't agree with it. I get it, but I don't agree with it.
It's like when League of Nations fought the New Day, and apparently the tag team titles were not on the line, and yet League of Nations won, which it was a mistake not putting the titles on the line. That's just me. Also, unpopular opinion that a faction deserved better.
That's very unpopular. Main event of night 1. Brock and Roman Reigns defeated Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, making it Bloodline rules for night 2. Oh, it was a good match. The Rock did better than I thought he was going to, which that's cool.
And if we had You Still Got It chance to, that actually would have had a You Still Got It.
Only sheep think that The Rock still has it. That was awful.
And it did put in some emotions thinking, oh my God, are they actually going to just keep going with this?
I mean,
they're going to set up Roman Rock for Mania 41, which at this point now we might set up. We'll talk about that later.
Well, yeah, we'll touch on that briefly because we got way too much stuff to cover.
Yeah.
Night 2, Drew McIntyre defeated Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Malice to CM Punk afterwards.
Would have been my match of the night until
Malice with CM Punk. CM Punk pulls Drew McIntyre down. Damian Priest cashes in, wins, and becomes the World Heavyweight Champion. I had one brief sigh of relief when that happened. I'm like, okay, at least if Cody loses, they're not going to go that way. At least if Cody loses, they're not going that way.
So, in an alternative world, if Punk was not injured, would they have had the cash in?
It's a good question. I think they might have.
Like, say, maybe if Rollins had defended and then suddenly you hear the Judgment Day.
I think it's weird. It's weird. You really don't know what that rabbit hole would go down because they probably would have main evented night 1. Who knows? Philadelphia Street Fight.
Worst match of the night.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't even see this one because I went on a beer run during this match.
Funny enough, same here, except pop run on my part. But even though I was happy to see Bubba Ray Dudley as a special guest referee,
I was not. But we know how I feel about Bully Ray on this show.
Also, I can't stress this enough, but Snoop, I love you, but never, ever, 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 ever be on commentary. I'm gonna sound sinful saying this. You were more annoying than Pat McAfee.
Well, Pat McAfee's awesome, so I don't know what you're talking about.
And Pat McAfee, on a side note, McAfee, like broadcasting, just would not shut the fuck up.
I love Pat McAfee, and y'all can come at me.
He was a bigger cheerleader than Byron Saxton. I said it. Come at me. I would have rather have had Byron Saxton back there.
I love Pat McAfee.
I didn't get this. I was like, okay, wait a minute. So McAfee was supposed to be like cheering on like the heroes and such, and basically acting like the entire WD.
He kind of did that. He cheers for who he likes. That's what I like about him. Like, he just cheers for the people he likes. Like, okay, I like these good guys, but I still like Roman Reigns, so that's cool to me.
I know, but it was like, but yet you're like trying to pull like a villain move. It's like, hey, come on, Cole, acknowledge the bloodline. It's like, shut up. I literally would have said on the air, shut up, I'm trying to do my job. I don't care. Like, it's like if, I don't know, I was about to say, like, it's like if we were trying to call WrestleMania, I was like, I'm here to call a show. But
all right, we gotta move on. Next match, LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Good match. Good win for LA Knight. I liked how he gave that woman a car, and she's like, did not know what was going on.
I was pissed that he didn't get his wish on having Usher performing "Yeah." Like, come on.
Hmm.
I would have marked out hard for it. Like, I grew up with that song.
United States
Also,
champion. United
also,
States
when did AJ Styles get a new theme song? Or am I
WrestleMania. That's when he did.
Oh wow, so that really was his new theme song at
Yep.
Mania.
Next match, U.S. title match. Easy's favorite wrestler, Logan Paul, defeated
Taking
Kevin.
on your favorite wrestler, Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that.
It's ironic because he is from St. Louis. Go figure.
Uh-huh.
And Kevin Owens. Look, I'm going to say this about Logan Paul. I understand if people don't like Logan Paul. I understand why they don't like Logan Paul. But as far as I'm concerned, the dude's a wrestler. He has learned it. He gets it.
I'm going to say this. He's the Ty Gibbs of WWE.
Hey, that's a good way of putting it. But Ty Gibbs is still a racer, is he not?
He is?
Yep, there you go. There you go. That's... Again,
and also
I get why people think he's a piece of shit. I'm not disagreeing with you, but there's a lot of pieces of shit in wrestling, and there's people that have done worse things than Logan Paul in pro wrestling. I'm not condoning Logan Paul. I'm not saying I like him. I'm not saying I would go see his podcast or go meet him, or he would be what I want to see on a pro wrestling show. But of all the fucking people that they just try and bring in to be like celebrities, Logan Paul's the best one.
And also, as most people thought KSI was in the prime about it was apparently some streamer named iShowSpeed.
Don't know who that is. Sorry.
I know. I was like, who the hell are you?
That was for an audience that is not me.
That was for an audience that I get that probably didn't even know what the hell WrestleMania was.
Oh, they probably do, but just they weren't me. Yeah, and whatever, it wasn't for me.
Also, two things I will like about this match. Two things I like about this. I'll give maybe three. Kevin Owens literally backwards driving up to take up Randy Orton,
and then him going too fast, and Randy Orton saying you need to slow down.
Yes. Randy and Kevin just playing hot potato on beating up Logan Paul. That was satisfying. And the Philly crowd just completely trolling on Prime. Like, we had Gatorade chants. We want water. I'm like, and I've tried that Prime drink before. It tastes like utter shit.
I've tried a couple of flavors. It's not bad. I wouldn't.
I'm sorry. The Tropicana Punch has no flavor whatsoever. I actually almost spat it out.
Gatorade tastes better, but Prime has less sugar, so you take the go with that.
Guy.
Body Armor, I prefer Body. Like, Prime's like my least favorite, but I will try the Cody Rhodes Prime if I ever find it.
Again, I'm a Body Armor guy, and you know who else is a Body Armor guy? Ryan Blaney.
And Chase Elliott.
Well, Ryan
Blaney. But Brian Blaney's actually sponsored by it, but yes.
Yes. And won the NASCAR title with a Body Armor, so I'm happy with... Or was it Menards? I forgot.
I think Menards.
Yeah.
But anyway, he drank Body Armor in Victory Lane.
This is why we don't have a racing show.
Bayley defeated Io Sky to win the WWE Women's Championship. Great moment for Bayley.
That's my night 2 match of the night.
Yep. Great match.
I think of all these storylines going into Mania, that I think had the best build-up ever. Although it kind of seemed like this looked like the female version of Edge getting kicked out of Judgment Day, whereas Edge founded Judgment Day, and Bayley founding like Damage Control, and then she gets kicked out of it.
I kind of looked at it more, and this is more obscure, when Generation Next kicked out Alex Shelley in Ring of Honor. Like, Alex Shelley started Generation Next, and then they kicked him out. So Austin Aries could be the leader. I mean, I know Austin Aries is another not very popular guy, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's what this storyline gave me the vibes from. But that one's a lot less popular among most people. Not saying it wasn't. Not saying it was
Yeah.
bad. I'm just saying like more people probably saw Edge get kicked out of Judgment Day than they saw Alex Shelley getting ousted from Generation Next.
Oh, and a quick side note: when they were just like introducing like the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2024, that even though I did not grow up with ECW, hearing the ECW theme song being played in Philly at Mania, that felt awesome, especially for Paul Heyman. Like long overdue for him to be in the Hall of Fame. So, WWE, are you going to start working on an actual building, please?
Yeah.
NASCAR's got one. Indy has the IMS Museum. Pretty much every major sports league has its own Hall
Cooperstown,
of Fame.
Canton.
Yes, Canton, Toronto Hockey Hall of Fame. Kansas has Basketball Hall of Fame. Cooperstown Baseball Hall of Fame. So, give us an actual building, please.
Toronto, the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I just mentioned Toronto Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Well, I didn't go in. I didn't go in there, but I did go by it and get to look in there.
Yeah. Well, it's a great building if you've never been in there.
All
right.
So now we have the main event. Cody Rhodes, with the help of the rest of the Avengers, Jey Uso, John Cena, Seth Rollins, and The Undertaker.
And Seth Rollins in Shield music. Everyone was like, wait, are we getting Ambrose?
I know a lot of people thought that. I thought this was a great match. Like, again, you know, I said this on the night it happened. Like, it was a great match. You know, the storyline called for that. Now, if this would have been the first, like, if it backlash right after Cody returned to WWE, they would have done this match with Roman. No, it would have been stupid. But after this build, it made sense to have this sort of big match with The Rock being the final boss and all this stuff. It made sense. I pretty much, right after it happened, I said all of the IWC people that, you know, kind of have this is what wrestling needs to be, and this is the only thing good about wrestling, and this, that, and this, and that, and it's about moves, it's about bangers, it's about all these things. You already know you're gonna hate that match. So the fact that, you know, that's a terrible match, and, you know, this match was stupid. You know, the thing I got in my timeline, this match was ass. Why did you like it? I got that from, you know, a real wrestling fan out there. Okay, shut up. Don't talk about it. Fuck you. Go watch Takeshita and Ospreay and play with yourself. That's what you liked. I like this match. Fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it too. This will definitely be on my countdown list at the end of the year. Also,
I don't know. I don't know if it will. It may be, you know, maybe we'll close to the bottom, but yeah, I think, like I said, you know, maybe not a 5-star match, but it was a 10-star moment, in my opinion.
One thing to note is, apparently, and I actually wanted this to happen, but Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, that sucked. We all kind of wanted Stone Cold, but
supposed to be a Mania, but apparently didn't agree to financial terms. It's like, oh, come on.
Well, I mean, that's fine. I mean,
whatever. Getting the Undertaker, I'm like, oh.
The Undertaker didn't make as much sense as Stone Cold, but the Undertaker was a locker room leader for the boys. And seeing somebody try and enforce their will, he wouldn't like that. And he was the final boss before The Rock was the final boss. So, you know, not what I wanted, but I'll take it. You know, if they
it would have been if you heard Mick Foley's music.
I love Mick. You know, there's a picture of Mick right over there. But where's it?
Well, personally, and this to me, it builds the story on just furthering the bloodline civil war and such. I would have rather had The Rock turn on Roman. I said this.
It's not time yet. It's not time. It's not time.
All right.
That's gonna happen.
I said if it wasn't gonna happen in the tag team match, I thought it was gonna happen in
the seeds were planted in the tag match with the spear, and then now Roman's lost. It's not time. It's not time. You gotta let that one breathe. You gotta let that one bubble. You gotta let that one, you know, just
Also,
I hate to say this, but sit down, shut up, and enjoy the ride. The Rock's going to take you on.
Or also, I thought when Solo Sikoa came out, I'm like, what if Solo turned on Roman?
I don't think anybody need to turn on. I mean, like we already had Solo turn on Jay on SmackDown, and aligned himself with the newly debuting Tama Tonga. So we didn't. Nobody needed to turn at WrestleMania. Nobody needed to turn at WrestleMania. Save that for after. You gotta the big thing that all the critics would go like, oh yeah, and then what? Well, okay, there's the and then what. Like, here's the fallout. Here's all the things you can do. Here's the, now what? That everybody's all like, oh well, then Cody wins, and then what? It's stupid. Fuck off. I'm gonna be one of those guys because I got tired of being told how stupid I was by real wrestling fans for liking this match. Fuck off.
And yet I bet pretty much all of them were complaining about why didn't Cody win last year. It's like, well, yeah,
I still think you could. I still think Cody could have won last year. I still think it would have been as special. I think you could have done a lot of things and it would have been as good. I stand by thinking Cody should have won it last year, but it didn't. It's not the route I would have took, but it still led me to the destination I wanted. They went a scenic route that I didn't want to go on, but well, we still made it there, and we made it there in time. Yeah. Cody Rhodes won. Yeah. I'm happy.
Overall,
a lot of people were happy. Samantha Irvin was shedding tears of joy. Yeah, great moment. And if you didn't like it, if the moment wasn't for you, that's fine. You go like your thing, I'll go like mine. But if you're an asshole about it, kiss my ass.
Yeah, overall, I think this top 10 WrestleManias of all time, in my opinion. Top 5,
maybe top 10. The one to kind of like bottom line this, my one gripe with it was since they've done, started doing the 2 nights of WrestleMania, every night 1 kind of was its own thing and night 2 was its own thing. Mm-hmm. This year, night 1 was a setup show in some ways for night 2, and I don't really like that. And I hope that next year, night 1's its own thing and night 2's its own thing.
And rumored that it's going to be Vegas during Mania. It's like, as long as you're not in the parking lot of a Caesar's Palace.
Oh, actually, it wasn't a great Mania, but like that, it was a cool looking Mania. It wasn't a great one. It wasn't good by any stretch, but it looked cool.
Okay. Side note, I would actually like to see an NXT stand and deliver at Caesar Palace.
Yeah, and NXT would fit that motif very well. Yeah. So Cody wins.
Or hell, Ring of Honor Supercard at Caesar's Palace.
No.
I'm gonna try.
NXT like always does those throwbacks, which I like. Ring of Honor is best suited like not doing their own thing. But anyway.
Oh, and also whoops, I almost had my signed here.
I didn't watch Supercard, so I don't have thoughts on it.
I know, but just like one little note on Supercard of Honor, because none of us watched it, but oh god, Jay Briscoe, ROH World Champ.
Jay, are you sure?
What is it? I don't know.
Mark Briscoe.
Mark Briscoe, sorry. Now
now you've unintentionally made a lot of us sad.
Sorry. Mark Briscoe, ROH World Champion.
That's cool. I'm glad that happened. I didn't watch it, so I don't have thoughts on it other than good for Mark. And good for Mark.
Spirit Kingdom still tag champs, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not interested in Payroll Dark, but I am happy for Mark Briscoe. Upload all the old content, and maybe I will subscribe to Paywall Dark. So the next night on Raw, the next night on Raw, The Rock confronts Cody Rhodes. People complain this like, oh, the segment went on too long and it was awkward. Like, it needed to be awkward. It needed to feel uncomfortable. That's what made it good, because if it didn't feel uncomfortable, then you'd just be and sing along with The Rock, and it wouldn't have gotten the reaction that it did. It needed to be uncomfortable. The Rock is not giving you what you want. That's why The Rock is doing the bad guy shtick well. He's not giving you what you want.
think we've just
So
been
sorry, not
used
everybody
to-
wants to be ironic and show that they're smarter than everybody in the world, and be like, well, let's just give us this because that's what's cool. No,
I think we've just been so used to the McMahonisms that it's
they're
like,
so
yeah,
used to McMahonisms, and they're so used to watching another company that would rather just be like, oh, well, this is cool, and we like this because we're smart, which is fine, but I said this when they had the beat down on Rock beat down Cody and just kept saying the same phrases. Like, if The Rock was not saying the same phrases, he'd be being entertaining. In 1999, when he was beating up Stone Cold and Mankind and being entertaining, it made me like The Rock. This makes me not like The Rock because he's just being a dick. So he's not giving you what you want. So that's why I think it's good. It's what made MJF work for so long. He wasn't giving you what you wanted.
So now this brings me back to like what I was going to mention earlier, that the rumor for Mania 41 is going to be Cody Rock, and I'm like,
if it is, then I don't know. But I've heard that. I've heard SummerSlam. We'll see.
I was going to say a SummerSlam main event, yes. Mania 41, no.
Yeah.
We're not doing John Cena, Rock, once in a lifetime, and then there's going to be a sequel at Atlanta. Or no, Atlanta was the build-up, and then Miami.
Atlanta was the build-up, Miami, New York. So, yeah. Moving on, we're going to talk about AEW, but we're going to talk about something that I don't like talking about with AEW. We're not really lighting the fuse and bringing the boom this week. We're talking about the infamous All-In Wembley footage of the fight between CM Punk and Jack Perry was shown. And I'll give kudos here. They worked it into the storyline, so kudos there. You want that part? I thought they did well. You know what I think they didn't do well? Everything else.
Showing the footage.
All this footage was did CM Punk take shots first? No question. But for a company that has a fan base that pardon me, all week was telling me, using their buzz line, this is where the best wrestle. We want wrestling. We don't want, this is where the best wrestles. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns was bad because it wasn't about wrestling, like we, the real wrestling fans that watch AEW, like. This flew in the face of that whole mission statement that y'all say that was put out by Tony Khan. It wasted a bunch of time. It overshadowed the show. No one looked good in it. No one came out of this from AEW looking good. And don't at me like, oh, Jack Perry's more popular now than ever. Like, just let it go. He was doing fine. Fuck. This was dumb.
All right. I had to look this up. It is a very quick sentence. Here's AEW's mission statement. AEW is built to create memories of a lifetime, memorable, inspiring, and spectacular by providing our fans with the best wrestling matches and entertainment anywhere. We believe providing a safe, inclusive, and respectful environment for all AEW events is central to that mission. Bull fucking shit on half that statement.
I mean,
but at first, I was thinking, like, oh my god, are they actually going to show the footage? Because I was starting to think, was Punk being deceitful? Which the answer was yes and no. But I'm just watching that, and it's just a scuffle just between workers, which, firstly,
which you can't do, and I'm not standing up for CM Punk. He got fired. No. He got what he deserved. You can't go around attacking people.
And
you don't do that.
Putting aside this is a pro wrestling company, this could be any other company where, an employee laying their hands on another employee. That's just flat out wrong on all levels.
And Everybody in this had fault, and the only adult in the room was Samoa Joe.
And Hook, apparently, who was unfortunately in that same room.
You know, it was stupid. They wasted a lot of time with it. You know, okay, did they they did bring it back the storyline, which okay, you know, at least they didn't just show the footage. But it's still.
I thought that was personally
after being told, you know, how stupid I was for enjoying WrestleMania all week. For this company to counter with this flew in the face of everything their fans were telling me all week. It's just dumb. Nobody looks good. Nobody, you know, and hey, it did bring in some more ratings, but like you have a guy that doesn't even work for you anymore bringing in those ratings, so who cares? Who cares?
Like,
you know, when was the last time we saw Dark Order on Dynamite? You know, in a meaningful role. But we gave time to CM Punk. Fuck that. He's gone. You fired him. It's over with. Let him run his mouth and focus on your own show. Focus on being where the best wrestle. Okay, because all this did was overshadow some good stuff that was on your show, like Pentagon and Adam Copeland. That guy overshadowed because of this petty bullshit from a non-boss. I fucking said it, because Tony Khan isn't a boss. Nope. A immature
leader.
An immature child who just wants to run his mouth, and an immature child with an anger problem that can't go 2 seconds without thinking, you disrespected me in any way, time to fucking beat your ass. Fuck everything.
Like AJ Lee more.
Fuck everything involved with this.
And also, I'm going to call out on WWE as well, because I've heard that the pre-show panel was also taking some shots at AEW, and even some of the wrestlers that, like, whether it was WWE World or even on the pre-show, it's like, nobody cares about your competition. You're talking about WrestleMania. Well, that's what the fans came to see.
Yeah, Triple H is petty, but so Triple H is petty, like, Tony Khan's petty. I don't like either one of them. Neither one of them are my favorite people in wrestling. Which brings me back to the next part. So Triple H, after not signing Will Ospreay, aired some sour grapes and said, I guess he's afraid of the grind. And then Will Ospreay did an interview where he literally said, this is a painful jab back. And the whole time he's talking this shit and saying, you know, you want to talk about grind when the only reason you're where you are is because you were grinding on the boss's daughter. You have Renee Paquette standing right next to him, who is on record saying that she really likes Stephanie and respects Triple H. Read the room. You know, like, you might be wanting to take your shot, but you might be doing it in front of someone that doesn't really like having that shot be taken. Ospreay had every right to be pissed off. And I'm not a Will Ospreay fan the slightest. But Ospreay had every right to be pissed off about that. But, you know, maybe don't do it right in front of somebody who likes Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, and honestly, of all the crap that the McMahons can pull through, can like just pull off and such, Stephanie has not done one thing that would be deemed controversial or.
It depends. It depends on, you know, because they're saying she knew about, you know, the rumor and innuendo and reports are saying that she knew about Vince doing what he was doing, which, you know, if she did, she's not innocent, but I'm not going to comment on this because it's just kind of...
And this is a total...
Because everybody who comments on it right now really seems like they just want Twitter clout and social media clout. And to me, like, let's focus on getting justice for the victim and not going, look at me and look at how ethical I am. I don't know everything. I haven't read all the documents in deep detail to know. But if Stephanie knew and was okay with it, then I don't like that. And that's not good at all.
And also, and here's a shot to the IWC as well. It's like, take into consideration that many of these wrestlers, they might still be communicating with one another, whether it's AEW to a WWE and vice versa and such. Because, like, they've worked together. They would still maybe talk together and just see how everything's going on and such. And probably the same thing where they're still close friends with maybe an indie guy that we've seen at shows. We just don't know like how deep his connections are. Like just I don't know where I was like going with this, but it's like just respect the fields. Like just let AEW do their stuff. Letting WWE do their stuff. Like, it was funny at first with AEW trying to put all the shots when they started, but what is it, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24? For 5 years since AEW started. Stop already. Like, stop with the jabs or stop with the call-outs. It's just like,
stop having your owner roam Twitter for anybody that might be not kissing his ass.
Yeah. Quote Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get help.
Yeah.
And also,
and for the record, Triple H, that goes for you too, motherfucker.
Yes. And especially Tony Khan. Do what the Arizona Coyotes and the NHL are doing, other than the fact that they're moving away. Just stop tweeting. Just stop. Please just stop. No more tweeting. I am taking away your phone privileges, young man.
All right,
also, and here was the question that I was going to bring to you because this was trending like crazy on Twitter. Did that segment look like WCW 2000? You grew up with the Monday Night Wars. Did this look like it?
So I want to point out for the record, so many people on the IWC use that because it's a cool buzzword now, you know. Oh, that's so bad. It's like WCW 2000. Or that's so bad. It's like WCW 2000. I can honestly say this. Both WWE and AEW right now, none of them are like WCW 2000. I sat through WCW 2000, and that nothing their product, both of their products are nothing like WCW 2000. So no, you're not smart for using that buzzword. It's not. Shut up. However, them showing that is probably the closest to anything WCW 2000 that I've seen from AEW in its history. Yes. Because in WCW in 2000, Vince Russo would do stuff that benefited no one, but maybe...
Bash at the beach.
Yeah, but maybe got a reaction from a few online people and a few people backstage, and it didn't lead to any build-up for a program. It didn't lead to anybody becoming more popular, and it didn't lead to any more money. And airing that footage, it didn't help Young Bucks versus FTR. Yeah, they could circle back to make it not completely pointless, but it didn't really help the feud. Just build off the fact that FTR's ahead 2-1 on the Young Bucks, and boom, there you go. There you go. Hey, simple storylines and just let them wrestle. There you go. There you go. That's letting them wrestle. You could have had it there. So it didn't help that program. It didn't make AEW look any more popular. Didn't make anybody really look better. And it just was a satisfaction to take a shot at somebody who, while albeit a very toxic asshole of a person, it was just a shot. It was just a shot because he took a shot. The show wasn't better because of it. AEW is not better because of it. Nothing is better because of it. So, you know, I'm going to quote, going back to NASCAR, I'm going to quote Slapshoes whenever he, I take off what he said when he was talking about the NASCAR playoffs. If they did this to make their show better, it failed. If they did it to make Jack Perry look good, they failed. If they did it to make any of their own talent look better, they failed. What do you call something that does not accomplish its designated goals? You call it a failure. And that's what that was. That was a failure. And it's a fucking shame that they did that and they shit on a dream match that happened on that card with Penta and Copeland, because that was an amazing match.
Mm-hmm. And you also could see the facial expressions
Tony
from
Schiavone, yeah.
and Tony Schiavone as well. Yeah, I was going to talk to him, but like, oh God, because if anybody who could probably answer that way best, it would be Tony Schiavone.
But I don't think he's going to because Tony Schiavone's over it. Tony Schiavone, like they asked him on his podcast about it, he's like, I'm ready for this to be over. Let it be over. Let Punk go run his mouth. Let WWE run their mouths and just go, run your mouth. Run your mouth. Okay, run your mouth. All right, we're over here. We're over here getting ready for our pay-per-view debut in St. Louis. Just keep talking. Keep talking. We got Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay coming, but keep barking. We're getting ready to have FTR on the Bucks, but keep barking. Oh, we're gonna have Swerve Strickland, Samoa Joe. Keep barking, WWE. That's what they need to be doing. I know this is gonna be something that's gonna upset you, but I'm gonna compare it to. So back in 2013, it was revealed that Notre Dame and Michigan wouldn't be playing each other yearly anymore. So in 2013, what was going to be the last game for a while between Notre Dame and Michigan at Michigan Stadium, Michigan won, and the Michigan coach at the time decided that he wanted to, when they beat Notre Dame, play the chicken dance song. Because he says Notre Dame's chickening out on playing us. They're afraid of us. So they played the chicken dance, and the Michigan players, were doing the chicken dance right in the Notre Dame players' face. And then the next year, when they played what was for the longest time the final game at Notre Dame, and Notre Dame won, you know what the Notre Dame players did?
Chicken dance.
Nope. They walked away. Good game. Good luck the rest of the season. Better you do, the better we look. Bye. They were asking players, did the chicken dance motivate you? We were motivated because we wanted to win this game. They didn't have anything to say about the chicken dance. They didn't have any pot shots. They just went, we were motivated to win this game 31-0 like we did. Because it's going to help our season. And they left it at that. AEW needs to take that approach. Okay, Triple H wants to bark. Okay. Well, Will Ospreay is still the show of Bryan Danielson in St. Louis, but okay. We still got him. We ain't gonna say nothing, but
And it's interesting you guys won't, Michigan and Notre Dame won't meet again until September 3rd, 2033. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know you come from a Michigan household, but you get what I'm saying?
Well, my dad was Michigan. My mom was Ohio State, and I cheer for Bama. Yeah, I see what you mean, though.
Yeah. They didn't throw it back in Michigan's face. They just said, all right, we won. We won this one.
Mm-hmm.
So, New Japan. I haven't seen the show yet because this show was not included with my New Japan World subscription. I got to pay an extra $20 for it. But Jon Moxley has defeated Tetsuya Naito to become the WGP World Heavyweight Champion.
Apparently the first pro wrestler to have held WWE World Championship, AEW World Championship, and now IWGP World Championship.
Hey! As someone who likes Moxley and has a lot of respect for him, I'm happy Mox got that honor. I know Mox respects New Japan. I know Mox goes to Japan. I'm happy for Mox. I'm happy for him to have this accomplishment. I am happy to see what he has become. I just listened to over last weekend his audiobook, or his book, in audio form on Spotify. Great listen. If you have a Spotify account, look it up. It's great. On the flip side, this don't feel right. This just 4 years of waiting for Naito to have what is probably going to be his last run, and he just loses it to an AEW guy. And I know Mox goes to Japan a lot, but he loses it to an AEW guy. That rubs me the wrong way. I don't like it. I feel like Tony Khan, and this is speculation, so maybe he's not, Maybe he's not. This may not be the case. So there's my disclaimer. I feel like Tony Khan calls his shots with New Japan, and because New Japan isn't doing very well right now, he has the kind of the power to call his shots. So I feel like that was Tony Khan calling a shot.
Well, I'm gonna add a theory and be like, maybe a title change at Forbidden Door, or is that too soon?
I don't know. I just, to me, it's, there was there was a promo in New Japan, and it was very, I'm not going to repeat it because it was very, very, very raunchy. But basically, a guy looked at Tanahashi, who's the president of New Japan, and said, you might as well go into Tony Khan's office and remove certain articles of clothing and let Tony Khan do certain things. Not going to repeat that. Even I'm not going to repeat that.
Jesus.
And with the way that AEW guys just kind of come in and get what they want in reference to that. And he was doing reference to a story. But it kind of feels like maybe that's, maybe not like to that extreme, but it kind of feels like Tony Khan can call his shots. I'll see how it plays out. I'll see if Mox keeps going to Japan. If Mox goes to Japan, if they build a story, if Mox has it, if Mox is still the champion of the G1, if Mox is in the G1, then I won't be upset anymore because then they're doing something with the reign. With Mox's reign as IWGP champion. But if he wins it and then just, makes it another belt to parade around on AEW television, and then the AEW fans that don't watch New Japan, except for Forbidden Door, can pretend that they're interested in New Japan for an extra month, then I don't like it. It just depends. It depends on who he loses it to, whether it be at Forbidden Door or at Dominion. I'd rather them do it at Dominion. I'd rather it be on a New Japan, like, yes, Forbidden Door is New Japan and AEW, but I'd rather it be on a strictly New Japan show when Mox loses it. So I'd rather it be at Dominion or but good for Mox. It does mean something to him, so that is cool. But just it.
I got a great show.
It just does. It does rub. It rubs me the wrong way. It rubs me the wrong way.
I understand. Yeah, great joke. If Moxley was full time with New Japan, at least he would finally get his vacation.
Yeah,
I know. I'm still going with that.
But. Yeah, so we'll see how it plays out, but it's 100% not how I would do it. Depends on who you lose it to, depends on how it plays out. If he goes to AEW and, loses it to, some AEW guy, if he fucking loses the IWGP title and I love him, he's my number 2 favorite wrestler of all time. If he just loses it to Danielson because Danielson, or if he loses it to Ospreay because Ospreay, or loses it to Okada, lose it to the New Japan people that have left New Japan just to give them the belt back. I wouldn't like that either. But if he loses it to Yota Tsuji, or if he loses it to, loses it back to Naito at Dominion, or even Forbidden Door, but I'd rather be Dominion, if he loses it to Zack Sabre Jr., or...
I think Dominion... storyline wise, that would make more sense. But then again, we saw Okada beat Jay White at G1 Supercard.
That wasn't so bad because they built it at it was the first time the title changed hands in America. Yeah. So do it at Madison Square Garden. But like I said, it just
I am
it kind of feels like I've seen this happen with Forbidden Door, and it's not all AEW fans. I know some AEW fans that follow New Japan too, and I'm not saying if you're an AEW fan, you gotta get a New Japan World subscription and watch it. I don't dictate how people need to view their wrestling. However, it's I don't like New Japan just bending at the will for AEW or just doing all these things like, oh, hey, here's something for AEW. Here's something for, let's throw AEW's, but let's give to AEW, because at the end of the day, most AEW fans aren't watching New Japan. They don't have a New Japan World subscription, and they're not gonna, they aren't invested in New Japan. The only time they are invested in New Japan is Forbidden Door time. It's not everyone, but it's at least half. So don't go out of your way for AEW and their fans to make them happy when you've got a whole section of New Japan fans. The AEW fans will go to the American shows if an AEW guy's on the card. They don't have to be champ. But we don't know. 4 years of waiting for this for Naito, and he just loses it in 4 months. I'm not a fan. But, again, great accomplishment for Jon Moxley. If anybody does deserve that, it is Jon Moxley. And I think that's it for us today. Thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed, please like, share, and subscribe for more content. Follow me on my social media pages, facebook.com/athleticgeek89 and Twitter @athletic_geek89. Easy social media, if you please.
Yes, you can follow me at the Twitter at ERIKZARINS. Talk to me about pro wrestling or hockey or racing or just anything in general. Or if I'm just being a mark, but whatever.
Yep.
So
Right.
I'm just happy that just like so much of like everything that's going on. It's like I just want to get it out of the way. It's like let's go for new threads here.
All right. So for Easy, I am the Athletic Geek. We are just marks, and we're out. Have a good one.